To you all, really, as rivals of Man United, what's your feeling now that he's here, the way he spoke, not the PR element, but any concerns, any worries? You think he'll do well? Like, where are your heads at with it as rivals?
No worries.
I'm not concerned at all. I'm not concerned at all. I was singing the Ten Hag song today. I thought about singing it now. But I know my voice is not made for singing. It's just nothing worrying. I've seen this movie before, with all due respect. I've seen the same exact movie. 1 hug, 2 hug, 3 hug, 4 hug, 5 hug, 6 hug, 7 hug. The worst song of all time.
What happened to you not singing, mate?
I know. I changed my mind. I changed my mind a lot. Here's the thing. I'm not worried because I've seen this movie before. The one thing that might make me change my opinion is this summer transfer window. And I mean this, like, genuinely speaking, if this summer transfer window, I see the same old shit, which is Man United just going for the obvious option that everyone knows about. Oh, July, January, March, April, May, June. If June 1st starts, and immediately as soon as June 1st starts, United are going to buy Declan Rice for 90 million. I immediately know for a fact the club is going nowhere. And it's not necessarily about Declan Rice. It's about the other stuff. And I'm going to explain what I mean. Man United now, the reason why Ralf Rangnick being upstairs makes sense and Ten Hag being there makes sense is they're supposed to sign the player for 7 million from the Bundesliga that no one knows about, that comes in, makes an impact, makes a difference, and improves their club without spending that much money on one player that everyone knows about. Declan Rice is someone everyone knows about. It's not like a shock signing, like, ooh, who the fuck is this guy type thing. Everyone knows him. And because everyone knows him, I will just know United, they're just doing the same exact stuff that they've been doing for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, which is, the Pogba signing, the Sanchez signing, Mkhitaryan, blah, blah, blah. They're just signing the people that people know about. So I want to see them sign, 2, 3 gems to actually, take them up a notch. We need to see who they sell, etc. But I said this before and I'll say it again. I feel like, and I know Terry is not in that category, but a lot of Man United fans don't actually realize the size of the rebuild that this man has got to do. Like, if he's bald now, it's going to be worse for him. The size of the rebuild is as follows. There's 10 players. There's 10 players leaving the club regardless. 10 players. I think they've all been mentioned. Pogba, blah, blah, the players who are free agents, the players who want to leave. There's players who are leaving the club regardless. Already your squad has minimized by 10 players. And then you have to look at the players who start, like the likes of Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw. Ten Hag is not a miracle worker.
I also, though, sorry, to interject really quickly, I think it's important. I spoke about this on a few videos recently. The whole 10 players leaving thing is being so overstated. And I'll tell you as to why. 6 or 7 of them were going to go if Ollie was still here. Pogba was never doing a new deal, really, as an example. Matic was always
I agree.
Matic was going to go. Phil Jones was gone. Lingard didn't have a new deal. I'm already on 5. This overhaul of our squad was happening irrespective. It's more just about building something else. These players were always going to go. The only difference will be there'll be 3 or 4, which will be more Ten Hag's choice. AWB is already one of them. He's been told he's absolutely going to go, as an example. So I still don't think our squad is, I'm not talking good enough to win a league title. I'm talking good enough for top 4 and to be competitive in games. It's good enough for that because we've seen it do it. We've seen the vast majority.
That's my point.
But again, and I'm just saying that to people because people keep pointing on this fact that it might take 2 years to start playing well because so many players have got to go and leave. Nonsense. Look how well Newcastle were playing. They signed Dan Burn and Chris fucking Wood. It's ridiculous. Like, football fans are stupid sometimes. It annoys me. Like, we should be playing better football from the beginning. Terry, what did you think about the Glazers comment? What, they always spend the money? Yeah, our money. Yeah, you do spend the club's money, but you ain't put none of your own in. You run debts up against us, so you've made billions out of us. Yeah, they spend the club's money. You know that. They waste it as well. Sons of bitches. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, no. Look, I hear it, innit? And it's not even to be salty. If we're going to analyze it a little bit. Obviously, Sam said we've seen this story before. I think Chelsea fans, we've seen this story before. I mean, we brought in someone called Andre Villas-Boas, and he was brought in with the Eric Ten Hag type of hype. He was a young up-and-coming manager, brought him in to kind of do the overhaul and whatnot. I guess maybe the only difference is you might not have the senior players that were causing a lot of the issues and maybe would bite back against some of the new things that he wants to bring in. But for me, the problem I have with this situation is that you're going into the unknown. And obviously, maybe Conte was the better option. Maybe proven winners like Simeone was the better option. But fair enough. Maybe you want to see attractive football and we want to see good football. Man United play good football. Man United DNA, whatever. I just don't know if I was a Man United fan. I just don't know how much I would trust it, because when you look at it, Ten Hag has just never had this magnitude of task before. Ajax are a well-run club. He calls the shots. He knows what he's getting out of his players and all of that. And obviously, you can give me the flip side. I'm just giving you one side of it. So it's not me saying it's definitely not going to work. But just as a final point, the reason why I'm just a bit nervous about the Ten Hag thing is because, again, are Man United going to be run properly? Is the structure going to be set in place? Is he going to be able
That's it, Daniel. That is it.
He wants to call. So yeah, it's just.
Yeah. I agree. Like, this is what I keep saying to Man United fans: stop focusing. Ten Hag as a manager, if the structure was right and we're run right, he'll be very successful. I think he's a phenomenal manager, a great man manager. When you actually look at his family's history and the level of business they operate at, like, this guy is richer than most football managers in football because of how much money he and his family have made outside the game. They are smart people. So I've got no issues with him. I know he can run a club. I know he can manage people. I know he can coach a team and play a good style of football. He'll be undone by how we're run. And that's why I'm excited about what he can do. My biggest issue is the way we're run, because we've hired some very good managers in the past. We've had opportunities, and each time we ruin it by signing the wrong types of people, supporting player power. And all the stories coming out today are a madness. And listen, a lot of people don't like Ralph now because he didn't quite achieve what they expected him to. I love the fact he's been outing these players. These players need this kind of outing. Dare I say it, says, is Rashford finished at the elite level? What you will say about Rashford? Well, what players like Rashford, do you think any will bounce back under Ten Hag and get back to their best? Or what are we saying?
I need to see Rashford back to his best, man. I love that guy. He was my favorite player of yours. I know Pogba is pretty much was everyone's favorite. I loved Rashford, the way he was direct, could dribble, take people on. His finishing left a bit to be desired, but he was such a good player, man. And I think people do have dips. Harry Kane had a dip at the beginning of the season, so people can bounce back. But he needs to do it now. There's no more excuses left.
He lost his hips. I said it already. He doesn't have the shimmy anymore. He doesn't have the little bit of movement to help him beat a player. He's actually lost a yard of pace, and I think what was very detrimental to him, and you can actually
you think that already at his age, he's lost a yard of pace already?
No, but think about it, and what I'm going to point to, and Terry could probably highlight even more, being a United fan, but the injury he had, the back surgery where he was playing so much on an injury, then he had the back surgery, I think, after the Euros, and then he came back too early. Like, coming back from injury early is one of the worst things you can do as a footballer. Hudson-Odoi is going through it right now, and I know some people don't rate him as highly. That's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying what the potential that we saw earlier, we're not even seeing that potential because of the injuries that he suffered and the way he has come back from those injuries. Injuries are a huge thing for young footballers because it affects them going forward. And I just think he's lost a bit of that sharpness, that rawness. You know, when like Sterling, you just burst onto the scene and they're just rapid. You don't really know what to do with those kind of players. Rashford had that, and I think he's lost a little bit of that, and I think it's down to the injuries.
I think he needs to leave Man United and come out of the limelight to revive 100%. His career. I just don't think it's going to work out for him there as things are at the moment. Obviously, things can change. I think he needs to get out of the limelight and go to. Most clubs are smaller than Man United, but like a smaller club, just get his head back on football and then go from there, in my opinion.
I couldn't agree with you more. Quick question for you, Cal. It says, how do you feel about the Mane news, Callum?
What Mane news? Don't do this to me live. What's
You lot
are trying to break me today. I'm not gonna lie. I've held it together kind of well. You lot are trying to break me live. Like, what's going on there? What is it?
It's the Bayern news. Apparently, he's accepted with Bayern.
He what?
Apparently, Bayern want him type thing, and they're gonna bid less than 50 million, something like that.
Yeah, I want a Ferrari, but it don't work like that.